Yo, it's Real 92.3, Bootleg Kev DJ Hed, special
Coast.
guest. The homie Phora is in the building.
Yours truly in the building. Let's go, man.
Welcome.
Let's get it.
LA area legend. This guy's, man.
Appreciate that.
Independently, you've been, I mean, I know you were on a major for a little bit, but
Yeah, 2 years.
You've built up your shit independently. I've been watching for a while, man. So
Thank you, bro.
salute. The new album is out.
Respect.
Why Bury Me with Dead Roses?
You know, when I die, I just want people to put dead roses on there. When my time comes, you know, I feel like my story is similar to a rose, and you know, when I'm dead, just put a dead rose on my casket. It's a beauty. This life was a beauty.
I feel like the whole vibe of the project, like, did you get your heart broken recently or something?
I get my heart broken like every week, man.
Because I know you. Are you? I mean, because
Yeah.
well, to be fair, I mean,
I'm a sad boy.
You missed the bar.
You were
Hold on, let me
pretty.
get the mic out
You
your
were
face,
pretty.
bro, because you can't-
Yeah,
Let the
all
people
good.
see you.
All good.
You were pretty like. Are you still with your girl? Because you were in an open relationship for a while.
Yeah.
You and your girl still together.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so shout out to your girl, man.
So, wait, she breaks your heart every time.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, do you have an open relationship?
We gonna start off like this, huh?
I mean, I'm just trying to
No,
figure
I'm
out.
asking
the
because
albums.
no, because a couple of the homies got open relationships.
Nah. It ain't nothing like that. Look, man.
Shout out to
I
Joe
go,
Moses.
Yeah. I go through what I go through. You know, I make my mistakes, and just things happen. Life happens.
Right.
And she takes you back every time, so it's all good.
It's all good.
Hey, man, you see this guy's eyes?
Uh-huh.
They're fucking lovely, man.
I mean, you know, for
Thank you,
ladies. I've been
Wow.
before a show
That's
before.
I appreciate
A
that.
couple of them actually.
Yo, I think a couple of my favorite records. I love the Love Yourself and the
Yeah.
I feel like the Like a Drug joint
Right.
was super fire.
Thank you.
What would you say would be the main inspiration behind the project? Because I kind of feel like it deals with some depression. It deals with like some.
Yeah. I think the main thing is you know what inspired me to make this project was just life. But when I got let off of my label, when I was on that label, people were just telling me like, sound like this, be like this, look like this. So the main inspiration for this was I get to be myself. You know, I actually, and not that I wasn't myself previously, but I can be myself unapologetically without having an obstacle to go through, without having a second guess. Should I do this? Should I do that? Right. So it's just the whole transition and me knowing like, okay, I can put this album out without having to check in with anyone and ask if this is enough and run it through the filters, right? So I think that's the main inspiration. Everything, this album is just my entire life.
And this is your first project since getting off the label?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, something that stood out to me was Love Yourself.
Yeah, I feel like
it is. Did you just get to a place where you love yourself now? Because I felt like you've been a rock star for a long time.
I don't think I'm there yet. I think Love Yourself is such an important song on this project for me, because when I made that record, I took it and I said, I want to actually speak to, like, I'm telling my story, right? But I want to speak to someone directly. I want to, when someone's listening to this song, like, I want to speak to them as if I'm looking them in the eye, right? And telling them like, yo, I know you're going through this. I know you're going through that. And I want to connect with that person directly, like straight, and I feel like that's important because there's not been a song that I've heard like that since like Love Yours.
Right,
or
shout
like,
out to Cole.
Yeah, but when I wrote that song, I intended to connect directly with the person that's listening.
What specifically don't you like or didn't you like about yourself?
Oh man, I feel like we all have like insecurities, right?
Yeah.
Insecurities is like the biggest thing. Not being confident, not being able to walk up in somewhere and being like, yo, I do this, I make this music, or my music's dope enough to where I can walk up to someone and be like, hey, check this out. Like, it's always like downplaying myself and not having the ability to be like, yo, I'm dope. I am proud of myself. I think that's the main thing that made it hard for me to love myself.
I think it's important you keep talking about that message because there's so many people that don't like themselves.
Right.
And you would assume that all celebrities or people with some notoriety, like, oh, you see all the screaming girls and you see the lights and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's not like that, at least for me, and I'm still not at a point where I, completely love myself still. And that song has even helped me out. I listen to that song and it uplifts me. Like when I hear it, like, and I don't go. Don't get me wrong. I don't go to that song to like uplift myself. There's other songs I go to like Tupac, Better Days, other things. But when I do hear that song, and when a homie plays it or something, like, yo, I love this song, and I hear it, I'm like, damn, this song made me feel better. This song made me feel better. Like, wow, I wrote that. Like, and it's just a boost of confidence. And most importantly, a reminder, man, like, I know who I am and I know what I'm worth. You feel me? So when I hear that, it uplifts myself, and I just hope that, you know, whoever's listening to that song, they feel the same way about themselves when they hear it.
Have you ever been insecure about what the kind of music you make and your nationality and the race you are?
Nah.
That's not.
Okay. I feel like I am who I am, you know, and especially if I can't change it, you know what I mean? Like why
worry about
stress
shit
over
you can't change?
But like
that.
confidence and certain things in this life, there are things that you can change that other people have. Like, why does so and so have this kind of confidence? Like I want to be that. I know I can have that, but why am I not good enough to the point where I can't feel like that, you know? Because it's possible. It's possible for me to walk up in a room and being like, yo, I'm this nigga, I'm that, like, boom. And like, I can do it, but it's just like, I don't know why I hold back. I don't know why I'm not confident. I don't know why when things happen and I reach accomplishments and goals, I don't know why I'm not proud of myself. You know, at certain points in life.
Well, you
those
talk
are
about,
things I could change.
You quoted Cole, so Cole spoke on that before, being you know biracial and whatnot. That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I do feel like in the grand.
I'm sorry. I'm proud of being biracial, by the way. I'm proud of it. Yeah.
I do feel like in the grand scheme of like LA hip hop, though, for whatever reason, like you've done stuff that like almost nobody's done. I think, like, you know, you got your own store on Fairfax.
Right.
The clothing line is booming. You got an insane fan base.
Insane.
Shout out to the fans, man.
I remember,
it's my pride and joy.
I remember when you put something up and you had like an old ass album and you just like challenged your fans to go make it chart again on iTunes, and they did.
I had like 3 old independent albums.
Yeah, and you were like, yo, y'all gonna make all these charts, and then they
all
did.
hit like top 10, top 20, something like that on iTunes.
And
that's crazy.
No, but it's crazy because like I do feel like for whatever reason you don't get talked about when we talk about like LA hip hop as like a whole. Like I don't know what it is. Like what do you think it is? Because I do feel like you should get a lot more props than you're getting, because I feel like you're probably making more money than most of these rappers.
West Coast.
And definitely doing things that they can't do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's an entrepreneurship side. Like a lot of these things aren't glorified and aren't talked about. Like in you know, not to make a comparison at all whatsoever, but rest in peace Nipsey Hussle. Like,
of course,
look at all the things he was doing.
100%.
Look at all the things like entrepreneur wise and all the moves he was making. And you know, I feel like, and I just bring that up because I feel like people gravitate more towards negativity. You know, I feel like people gravitate more towards gossip and drama. And don't get me wrong, like when I hear something happened or something popped off, like I check it out, right? And I don't know why we're like that. I'm not saying
it's human nature.
Yeah, it's human nature.
We've been like that, yeah.
But I feel like, you know, when it's just, there's certain artists out there that's all pure like negativity, gossip, antics, gimmicks, and all that.
There's not a lot of antics with you for sure,
right? And I feel like my fan base and most of the things I do, you know, it's all pure, you know, aside from, you know, there's scuffles here and there, things that pop off that's like a little bit negative, but for the most part, everything I do is positive energy, all love, and I feel like it's just not the kind of thing that, you know, headlines want to grab and, you know, make worldwide kind of like news.
When's the last time?
And I don't know why.
When's the last time you lost your temper?
I don't know. I don't. I mean, I get
pretty
mad.
Level-headed, but I'm just saying you don't.
Yeah, I don't lose my temper. Like I'm not anywhere trying to fight people. I'm not, you know, and it's because I'm surrounded by amazing people who I love and care for. So I never really lose my temper. I get mad. I get in arguments, you know, especially about business wise. Yeah. But I'm never in a club trying to fight anyone. Yeah. I'm never at a show trying to punch a fan in the face ever. Like, you know, but like, I don't know. I don't really like lose my temper like that. But you know, God forbid if anyone try to, you know, come in between me and mine and my family or my people, that's when it would happen. But I
feel that
nothing like that has really happening, you know, recently.
What do you think like was the turning point for you where you realized like what you were doing was working? Because I do feel like a lot of people who like see guys with like you who have like cult followings and like hardcore fan base, like, yo, how did that happen? Like, what do you think you were doing early on that started to resonate with fans where you realized like, oh, this shit is really catching on?
I don't think I can identify like a specific moment, but I think, you know, when I just started hearing people, when I would be at shows and people would tell me like their story and you know, how, you know, this song changed them into a whole new person, you know, and when I was at shows and people were just there singing every word of every song, and I'm not talking about a catchy 5-word hook. I'm talking about, you know, a 5-minute song talking about my life, and no chorus, no nothing, just every single word, you know, hundreds of people, you know, singing it, and it's just a story about my life. You feel me? Not just like
I tried to trip you out.
Yeah, exactly. So I started being like, yo, like this story I'm telling, people are connecting to it. People can relate to it, and that's important. So once people started like telling me things like that, and I started seeing all these things, I'm like, yo, this here, I feel like it's something special, man, because there's a connection with people, you know?
I know you addressed the what happened last year, because I saw the video you did addressing like the when the fans like it got kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And you ended up taking somebody to the hospital and whatnot.
Yeah, right.
I got 2 conflicting stories. Like the first story was like it was an event and people couldn't get in. Was that the cause of the chaos, or like,
there was a lot of everything. People definitely could not get in. It didn't.
Is that why people got mad and started like?
That was definitely a part of it, because there
okay.
was so many people. Like, you know, we're at a shoe palace, and it's like only so many people.
Only
like
people,
7,000, 8,000 people can't fit in there. You know, so people, and like imagine, you know, if you're 2,000 people back and it's 8:00 at night, you know, you probably know you ain't getting in there. So you're like, fuck this, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get in there, because you know I came here. So I don't know. It got kind of crazy. There was a bunch of things too. We was giving out a bunch of free shoes. Like we bought free shoes for everyone, and you know, people.
How soon? Like how far out did you promote that?
Day before.
That was just the day before.
I was on a plane. I was like, let's do this. I posted a flyer, and then next day it was just crazy.
Because I want to ask you this, because I know Khaled used to do that, or he probably still does, where he posts the day.
Shit.
And he like, fans, meet me here, or whatever.
Yeah,
do you still even do, like, are you even trying to do anything like that?
Yeah, of course. I still love connecting with the fan. More, it's more, after that happened,
You had to
I stepped it up. Like, it's more like
organize.
Triple down on security. Things are organized. Have to talk to the police every time something happens. Like, I'm in conversations with LAPD. Like, I have to. You know what I mean? And but yeah, now it's just more organized. Like, even permits, everything like that. Just because I want everyone to be safe. You know?
Is it true that someone tried to sue you for that shit? I heard about that. That must have been a rumor.
No. There was another time where I was told it was okay to stand on someone's car, and I stood on someone's car, and then like the like window or something like that got messed up.
Fucked up. So they hit you with a lawsuit.
No, not a lawsuit. they just said, and the fans are always cool, man. I've never ever
fix my shit, bro.
Yeah, they said, yo, you stood on it, fix the shit, and I was like, I gotta fix the shit.
I gotta fix your shit.
That's it.
What kind of car was it?
It was I don't know, like Hyundai or something like
that.
Oh, you should just got me a car.
Yeah.
Don't stand on no Bentleys, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yo, you know what in your opinion, what went wrong with the major label shit? Because I do feel like, you know, you went on the G-Eazy tour.
Yeah.
You know, you got records with some of the biggest artists in the fucking world. You know, I know you just dropped not too long ago. The record with Black is fucking fire.
Thank you.
But what do you think? Like, what happened that now you're relieved to kind of be independent again?
Yeah, I mean, most of those features were just personal relationships that I've had with amazing artists.
But I'm saying you're doing like major label shit for sure.
Right. I think you know, and it feels like the whole time I was on a major, I was still independent. I felt that way too. I was still funding a lot of my own shit, videos, marketing. Like, I was still funding, but where it went wrong was the whole regime changed. So the CEO left, the president left. They're
These are the people who signed you originally, believed you originally.
Exactly. My A&R was still there, but like there was a point where my last project where I was gonna drop the project, and you know, within the span of a month, I had like 3 different marketing people, and then by the time the album was gonna come out in a week, there was no more marketing people. They didn't have marketing. They didn't have, you know, press. They didn't have all these parts of a label, right?
Yeah.
They were all gone by the time my project was supposed to come out. And I'm just like, yo, what are y'all doing? There's no one here. Yeah. I walk in the building, and it's like, it's empty. Y'all supposed to, you know, so
where's
it's just
my label?
Yeah, it was just the regime change. And then after kind of the regime change, they started trying to, you know, bring the label back up. So they're looking for like hits. They're looking for hit artists and what's popping now and what's
Like
hot
some
right
viral
now.
bullshit.
Yeah, and
Chasing metrics.
but they're dope people, right? So a label is just a bunch of human beings, and they're
True.
all dope and amazing people. But it's about understanding the vision, and they didn't understand my vision. And I wasn't willing to go with their vision. So I think that's where it went wrong. Just having different people come in.
Did they let you walk away, or did you have to buy yourself out? Or
No, just walked away.
That's fire.
Walked away.
Well,
Yeah.
then you're good, man.
Yeah.
Hey, how often do you get the Drake comparisons? Like as far
Not
as
often.
melodically, musically?
Not often. I get it though. I get it.
You could definitely write for Drake.
You think so? Damn.
It's
That's a
definitely
compliment. Appreciate that.
emotional enough,
Okay.
emotionally aware
Yeah.
music.
You write
Nah,
some.
I
You
appreciate
can
that.
do some Drake and
That's a
some Drake
compliment.
and Drive tunes for
Drake
him,
and
for
Drive.
sure.
Oh, that's fire. I love that, man. Drake is definitely at least right now in this moment, top 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Drake's
Oh,
amazing.
definitely.
Drake's a beast. Like we all know that.
He's the most successful artist ever in hip hop.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
Just
It's crazy.
how you feel about him is how you feel about him, but check the scoreboard. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about yours truly and the brand. And I feel like what you've been able to pull off with this brand is very, very unprecedented. There's obviously been back in the day we had Rockaware and Sean John, but I do feel like at this moment, YG's got 400. Burner's got Cookies. You got yours truly, but specifically like you and Burner, like you guys are doing the shit like full indie. I know YG's got some bigger partners involved, but like how like at what point did you say like let's start this clothing line and give us some like background and like what you're doing, like going into bigger stores and
so it really just originally yours truly is just my whole movement, right?
Your brand,
with music, with everything.
Right.
It's yours truly forever. Like that's what I rep.
Right.
So we wanted to make it a separate thing, like a clothing brand, like 2013 or something like that. So we were like, yo, let's just try this thing out. It worked. People gravitated towards it. So we're like, yo, this is dope. Let's put effort into it. Let's put our time, invest into it.
Right.
Let's make this a company. Let's make this a business. So it's and it grew from there. Independent wise, it's been rough. It's been rough because it's similar to like music.
That's honest.
We have no backing. We have no investors. I've been trying to get into Zoomies for like.
I'm about to say, I'm surprised you're not in Zoomies.
Hey,
I've been
Zoomies.
trying to get into.
What's up,
I
man?
sent him an email. I sent him an email 4 days ago.
I'm gonna get
Hey,
you
let the
linked.
homie
I
in.
gotta
I'm
get you
like,
tapped in
yo.
with Burner, man.
But-
Burner will give you some of that game.
But yeah, I actually met with Nicki Diamonds a week ago,
Of
a week and a
course,
half ago.
one of the goats.
Yeah, and he's one of the first people like in that scene to reach out to me. I sat with him and I talked with him and some amazing people from his team for like 3 hours is what it felt like. And like he was
Gamed
just,
you up.
yeah, dropping game, and I'm just like, bro, I'm just soaking it all up. And it's a whole different side than the music. And yeah, man, I think, and it just made me realize that what I have is like, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. As stressful as it is, especially aside from the music shit, as stressful as it is, it's a blessing. But I'm just trying to hold everything together.
Yeah, you're killing it, man.
Thank
Hell
you, bro.
yeah. Hey, you do. I see the California tattoo.
Yeah.
You rap.
Yeah.
You rap like I rap.
Yeah.
But,
He got the West
Cali.
Coast tattoo right here.
I know.
West Coast and the
West
Cali
Coast.
tattoo right here.
How's
Born
the
and raised.
reception for Phora outside of here? Like nationwide,
I mean-
other places. It's all
I mean,
good. People embrace you the way they do here.
Yeah. I was on a flight to Greece. I went to Santorini, and I had like a 2-hour layover. And when I had a 2-hour layover in London, and when I touched down in London, I was walking through the airport, and like someone came up to me, a fan I had actually talked to on Instagram before. He's like, "Yo, what's up?" I'm just like, I'm in London. I've never been out the country before except one other time.
He hit
I'm
you with
just like,
the accent. Phora.
yeah, with that, yeah. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then we took a picture of all that, and then went to Santorini, went to Greece, and got recognized over there. And I'm just like, yo, this is because I never been out the country. I don't know what it's like. And I'm just like, got recognized in Greece and got recognized in London. I'm just like, yo, this shit is growing like outside of the States. Like I need to start touring outside.
That's
like,
big though.
You feel me?
To be independent, that's big, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you had a
It's
couple of
crazy
looks,
for
but
me.
that's big.
Right.
Before we wrap up the interview, we do a segment on the show every night called the Hate at 8. So listeners call in and they hate on something. It could be traffic. It could be, their baby daddy
Somebody who
cheated
stole
on
some
them.
merch out your store.
Right.
Or anything.
Yeah.
What is Phora hating on for the Hate at 8 today?
What am I known? Okay, hold up. So what am I known Okay, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it. Help me out
Okay.
here.
So the hated eight. Listeners call in and hate on shit. So let's say, yo, I'm hating on my baby daddy because he fucked my cousin, or I'm hating on the traffic on the 405 because it's terrible, or I'm hating on Trump, or I'm hating on McDonald's because they don't give me enough sauce when I order my nuggets. It could be anything.
Okay, so I gotta hate on something.
Hate on something.
They're not gonna be too literally.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay,
I ain't no hater, cuz.
Damn,
you know what I mean?
no. I gotta hate on something. So let me see. All right, I'm gonna keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
All right.
Hate on someone or something.
I'm hungry as hell. I had some trash ass Yoshinoya today. That shit let me the fuck down.
Ooh.
That shit kind of made my stomach hurt.
Had you ever had Yoshinoya?
Yeah, I have Yoshinoya all the time.
It's hit or miss, but when it's bad, it's really bad.
Yeah.
But when it's good, it's really good.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yo, I thought that was gonna get me through my day, and that shit. I'm hating on Yoshinoya right now. Like I'm pissed off.
We're gonna let Phora get up out of here so he can go to the bathroom.
Yo, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? I'm just like,
Hey, introduce. I mean, you want to do the Spanish record? I'm gonna let you introduce a record, man, for the new joint of the day.
yeah, for sure.
It's
You
up
know
to
what
you.
it is? For yours truly with the squad. And we about to listen to Blame on Me, produced by Scott Storch.
Shout out to Scott
Shout out
Storch.
to Scott.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Avedon, man. Real 92.3. Come
Yes,
on.
sir.